very kind introduction, and I must say that good part of the introduction was a little bit overstatement about me, except one part that I won't miss any adventure. So today I came to talk to you for the same reason. I don't know I call myself entrepreneur or not, but I came to talk to young guys like you, and I know that you are not very happy because middle of the day you were brought here by a short notice to listen to some random guy. So, but I think what I want to share something, and more important, I want to listen from you. If you may have some question that we can discuss and answer to best of my capacity, of course. And I have just jotted down here, sitting a few points. And the theme that I think what I would like to, So theme that I always like to talk to young guys at your position is that if I had an opportunity to restart at your place, so what I would have differently. So probably that is something which we can keep in mind, that you are about to start something and I am halfway through. If I compare it with the marathon, so it's very important, good start, and also keep running. So the career is a marathon, it's not a sprint. So some small setbacks and sometimes doesn't really take you down all the way, but just keep trying and going on. So I also want to tell you that I was a very average student when I was at school, and I keep working on myself and gradually improved a lot over time. But still I am a simple average student in school, and that remains with me all the time. No matter what I achieve or what I don't achieve, irrespective of that. So first point, what I will start with, that who am I? So of course you have seen the introduction, but after all, as I said, that I'm an average student, so who work on myself and sometime failed, sometime succeeded. So from there, what I learned is that it is a marathon, it's a long race. So it's nothing of a sprint. Do not put down by failures, and never leave any chance to try something. So first let us also look at it, that why innovation is so important today. So why your college or institution, everywhere, we are also as an IIT, so the entire government of India, why we are so much praised up, so much want to promote entrepreneurship. So why it's so important? It's important because there are many things to be done, and if you look at a population of 130, 140 crore people, so very small fraction of people can get things done. And there are few leaders, not many, but we need more and more leaders to establish organizations who will generate concepts and create opportunities for others. So that's why entrepreneurship is so important. So if everyone starts seeking job and don't want to be leader, so then people will not get jobs. So you have to also create a job for yourself and for others. So that is why entrepreneurship is so important. So next, let us see that what I have to do with entrepreneurship. I'm a professor, right? So what I do is that I got a government job with a reasonably good salary. So I teach some subjects which are written in the books, so I can write them and write them on board, and maybe a little bit of explanation, and then also set questions. That also I can copy from some books which you don't know exist, and then check copies sometime very quickly. So what I have to do with entrepreneurs. So addition to this teaching, I also have to do good amount of research. And another thing is that you also need to bring money. So in IITs you have to always bring money. So your worth is many a time weighed by the amount of money you brought. And there are two sources of money. One is the private funding, another is the government funding. For some reason, probably because of my height or something, the government decided not to give me much money. They did through IITs, but not from some other sources. There is no reason, of course. But I don't admit any reason, and they don't admit reason. So that's why 6 years ago, when I tried for a couple of years for money, so I tried money from various sources. To me, it's entrepreneurship because I need money for running my lab, and then I started looking for money. And while doing that, I found a concept which will bring me money. So the entrepreneurship is not about setting a business always. So it's business, of course. It involves money. You giving something and getting money and spending money on something else and growing. So an organization is growing. So, but its most important thing is about concept. So everyone is looking for money, industry money, government money. So the concept that worked for me is that a research that is not a tool-based research. So you are all MSc students, right? You are all MSc students. So you all do research. So for your project, for your MSc project, you will do a good amount of research. Most of the thing that we will see is that those are tool-based research. In your MSc, you learn certain tools, especially in engineering, we learn certain tools, certain simulation tools, certain experimental tools, and you tend to do research on that certain tool. See, for example, I learned certain kind of simulations, and if I limit myself to that tool, my market becomes very, very limited. That I realized very quickly. Then I said that, well, let me not tell that I am expert on this particular subject. We tell that, you tell me, I got and tell industry, you tell me that what's your problem, I'll solve it. So that I said that from tool-based research to the concept that I started pushing is that is need-based research. So whatever is the research need, irrespective of what tool I know, I will try to solve it. But solving something requires multiple tools. So I have only one tool in my hand, and if carpenter comes with a saw, with a screwdriver, with a drill, and many things. If carpenter comes with only a drill and say, oh, it needs a saw, I don't have, sorry, you call someone else. You don't like that, right? So especially today, you don't like that. You want the service to be done by someone. So I need multiple tools. So over the years, I acquired multiple tools, and but even there are something which is beyond my scope. So to me, to survive my concept of this need-based research, I needed to collaborate with people. So I built a network of professionals over and industry people, various people over the over the India and abroad. So that is something which gave me the ability to go ahead with the need-based research. And with that, I went to small companies who gave me as small as 20,000 rupees to government or other companies who gave me close to a crore. So we don't differentiate between money. Money is money. Even 20 rupees is money. So those are the concepts which I started for myself, and it worked for me. So to you according to your situation, your training, your circumstances, what I want to share that the concept is very important. For an entrepreneur, you sell something through a concept. So everyone has something. So you have to have something unique to sell. So that is very important. So now with this, to what I do to have to do with entrepreneurship and what I am. So I want to share a few things what I will do differently if I have to start. So first thing, for achieving anything to me at this point, what I feel looking back, what is hard work is extremely important. I would say that I work hard all the time, but whenever I faltered on hard work, I failed. So hard work is to me, hard work is the primary idea or primary condition that helps us to become an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur has to stand on his own feet. So entrepreneur has no one who is to pull him from the water. So he has to swim himself. And also take some more people with him, so him or her. So that's why you have to work hard. And sometimes at your position, I actually didn't understand what kind of degree of hard work people can do. So even now I don't work hard enough because I have so many interests, I spend a lot of time in something. But if you want to achieve something, you have to give 100% of to that. And 100% sometimes a huge amount of work. So I have seen people who are very successful and I have seen them working 12, 13 hours a day. So sometimes they don't pay much attention to their health, but that is also important. So your hard work you can do only when your health is good. Your health is bad, you will not be able to do hard work. So hard work and good health go together. So second thing is that smart work. So doing a hard work alone, of course it's a primary condition, but that hard work you have to channel properly. So what fraction of time in which component of your work that you will take, that's a smart work, that you have to find out yourself for you. Third, as I said that I collaborate, it's extremely important. Today's world is a teamwork. So today's world you cannot say that I'll do it alone, I don't want to work with others. And if you are studying a book, for example chemistry, you are studying a book and writing an exam, so that you can do alone. But any practical problem if you want to solve, you have to take help from others. Especially if you are an entrepreneur, you are managing a team. You have to build your own team, you have to build your own co-workers. You have to interact with your seniors, the supervisors. You may be mid-level, you may not be at the top always. So you will be in some work you will be mid-level, some work you might be in the top. So the teamwork is extremely important. And for the teamwork, your undergraduate and graduate days are extremely important because that's the time when you have friends. And when you are in the job, you have colleagues. Some of them become friends, but the kind of friendship that you grow in your undergrad and graduate days, those are never happens when you grow more. So this time is very important that we interact with our friends, we understand how human behave. So we have to understand that all are not equal. So understanding and accepting people as they are is extremely important to work in a team. So that is the third point, is teamwork. And the fourth one that I would like to say is the creativity. So solving a problem in a regular way is many people can do that. If you can solve it in a very different way, in a much more profitable way. For example, chemical industry, a particular chemical is made by maybe 5 different companies, but the company who can innovate, so that is where the innovation comes. So the creativity, you do some way where you make it cheaper, make it better. So the creativity is the fourth and another very important pillar which I would like to look back and say, yes, these are the occasions where I was more creative and these are the occasions where I was not able to be creative enough. And with teamwork, it comes the communication. So even when you write an email to someone, you have to be very careful. So previously I used to write a lot of communications, both written and verbal communications, which even now I don't pay so much attention all the time. But I have seen successful people who weigh their every word before speaking, even to someone who cannot do any good or bad to them, even they speak something else, something very trivial, they speak very carefully. So, of course, I am not in that league, but still that is very important, that all verbal, oral communications, you have to be very careful with people, because one small loose thing, loose talk, something strange you tell, people remember. You have 10 good things people may not remember, one bad thing people may remember. So the communication is extremely important. So what we said so far, 5, right? Hard work, smart work, teamwork, creativity, part of teamwork, but separate entity in its own accord is communication. So 5. Anything you want to tell me or discuss at this point? I have another 5, so I'll come back to, but you probably have something to tell me, because I wanted it to be interactive. So, anyone, madam?
I'm good, sir.
Okay. So, I will drink a little water and give it a little time. So, you have something brooding inside, come up with that. Don't worry whether that makes sense or not. I don't know what I am saying, whether it makes sense or not. Okay, so anything? Yeah, your friend can listen to this, I can also listen. So if you are something, just we can say, maybe from there we can have some ideas, something to discuss.
Maybe planning?
Huh?
How you plan things to go ahead? How much is planning important in case of entrepreneurship?
Well, yes, so planning is extremely important. So when you have something, what we do normally is that we, at the beginning of any projects, for example, when we are getting any project, so first thing is that you have to deliver it, because if you do not deliver something, so that source is dried up, and maybe another 5 sources. So that is very important for any business, that you have to deliver. So your plan, even before you accept something, we make a plan. So the first indication of some work, we make a plan. So plan is at all stages. Even say someone says, can you make this particular chemical? They probably will not give us any money. So before saying anything to that person, we make a plan. We means I sit down with my senior students, with senior colleagues, or whoever I think has some knowledge or expertise in that, and make a detailed plan as much as possible. And if we see that feasible, then only we say, yes, let us see what you want. And that plan is also has timeline, very strict timeline. The time is very important, which we often overlook. And this plan keeps changing all the way. So from the beginning to the end, we deliver and give our last presentation and take the remaining amount of money and say bye-bye, see you in the next project. So till that point, the plan keeps changing. But even we know that it will change, we never spend less time in that planning stage. And I didn't know there is something called NAT chart exists at your stage. I don't know whether you heard of that. GNATT, NAT chart. So that there is software in the internet you can find out. So that gives you work element versus timeline. So there's a very nice way to visually represent your task. And also there are a lot of software for scheduling tasks. So I don't remember one at this point because I was using that and then it stopped using. So those are the very important tools which are required and important for planning. Okay. So any other ideas? Yeah. Yeah, you sit down. Don't have to sit.
Sir, recently I saw an interview the Nikhil Kamath, founder of Jalota. So they said they don't hire anybody from the IIT or IIM specifically, and they posted a profit of in financial year 2022 of 2,000 crore. So, what your views on that?
See, this IITs and IIMs, so those are big brands. So the reason why one would go to IIT or IIM is that the kids are smarter. Average kids in IITs and IIM I don't know, IITs are smarter than average kid you get in other institutions. So,
Sir, and also they said कि निखिल कामत said that कि जो
no, I'm not done yet. So, I'm saying that maybe I'm saying an average. Okay. So now it doesn't mean that I'm not from IIT. So it doesn't mean that kids from other colleges cannot shine outside the IIT guys. So only thing is that the environment we created at IIT is slightly different, and if we have a little bit of if we work a little bit on ourselves, we have kids from non-IIT state colleges, so we are no different. So I think if I am saying that yes, I can take my company to new heights without taking any kids from IIT and IIM, so absolutely fine. So I think that's what we can do. So I don't see any problem there. Only thing is that the environment is slightly different. So you have to work a little bit on those kids, but they will understand this guys any day. So I think from other state colleges, we have seen much more than IIT kids see inside a closed campus, so and outside. Okay, so then another thing what I noticed and talked to many people, and now I am kind of convinced, is that T-shaped knowledge. So T-shaped knowledge says that it looks like a T. So if you are looking at a T, how it's let's say arm here and something goes deep here. So T-shaped knowledge says that you must be a domain expert in something else. So if you are a physicist, you have to be top of your particular domain. Even if you are a physicist or nuclear physicist, so you have to be top of your domain. But that doesn't mean that you will not look around and know other subjects. So today it's very important to also know something which are related to your subject, may not be directly a part of your core expertise. So your core expertise, as you grow in your career, your core expertise go deeper and deeper in this arm of T, and also your peripheral knowledge also pervades more and more. So you become a heavier and heavier T, but the T shape is very important for entrepreneurship, because problems doesn't come in a particular domain, so it comes which covers many domains. I think if I look back, I'll also think of growing certain good habits. So certain good habit means that whatever I am doing, a small thing, whatever I am doing, I'll try to do it the best possible way. So what I tell myself sometimes, that sometimes some work comes which I don't like, which is not really very important for me. But then I said that okay, I am doing this, so I'll have to do it in the best possible way. So then I tell myself that if someone tell me to draw 10 straight lines on a white paper, I should be drawing these lines absolutely straight and absolutely equal. So even such a trivial job, whatever it is, it has to be done in a certain way, because these are the habits which stays with you. And what I realized later is that if you think that today I am doing for myself, this no one is looking at it, I'll just do it somehow, and tomorrow if someone I'm making something for others, I'll do it better. So you cannot do that, because the habit of doing good or perfect things in vain. So you cannot do a hugely better things on a stage. So whatever you do in every day, you do maybe slightly better, not a whole lot. So maintaining a good habit is very important. And I've also seen people from various places people from our IITs, people from MIT, people from various other top institutes. And if you tell about intelligence, actually I didn't see a whole lot of difference. I said that IIT kids are smarter because the upbringing is something which makes them slightly different, but intelligence is not something that make people different. What makes people different is that those who go higher, they have a habit of never settling for anything less. So my last word before it goes to this interactive part is that never settle for anything else and anything small. So always settle for the best one. So try to get the best one. Yes, you deserve it, you will get it. And another last thing is that never think that, oh, this is not my domain. So nowadays all domains are smudged. So you are MSc Biology, MSc Physics, MSc Computer Science, all the domains are smudged now. So the conference that we are attending here is a conference on modeling simulation techniques for some engineering systems. And the conference is organized by IIT Ropar Mathematics Department. So you see that the mathematicians are talking about engineering and mathematics alike. So of course they are expert in mathematics. So they are looking at the mathematical part of it, but they know as much as about the system as much as we engineers do. So there is no domain limitation. Do not limit yourself. The only thing that can limit yourself is you. So that's all a small extempo I could do, and I'll be happy to hear your questions, comments, whatever you want to feel. So I'm chemical engineer, as I said that I graduated from Jadavpur University, worked from small time in industry, then went for graduate studies. Now I'm a teacher, do some research here and there. There are many, of course, there are many non-disclosures I have to sign. So when you work with industry, you cannot disclose what you are working on. But I don't think you are going to ask for secrets, so it's fine. So you can ask me questions, whatever you think you have.
Yeah, like the students are not asking. So as your talk title goes, this entrepreneurship and innovation as career opportunity. So like if I think believe most of the students are final year, they will be passing out sooner or later. So how they take this opportunity to settle or as career?
Yeah. So yeah, wonderful questions, and I think that I was not able to touch till this point. So how you build your career as entrepreneur. So if you want to build a career as entrepreneur, I can give you an example. So one of our students, he graduated and joined an industry for 2 years, and then suddenly one day I called him, say, what are you? He tells, sir, I am on a truck. So where are you going in a truck? I am going from Rajasthan to somewhere in Karnataka. So why you are on a truck? So I am taking pomegranate. So he actually started a business of transporting pomegranate from where it grows to where it doesn't grow. And why it needs an entrepreneur. So why XYZ cannot take pomegranate from Rajasthan and sell it to some place in Karnataka. The reason is that pomegranate, if you transport in a truck, in a closed truck, by the time it reaches Karnataka, its skin becomes blackish. Some black spots develop and the value drops very hugely. So the entrepreneurship opportunity for this guy is that being a chemical engineer with some understanding of science and those matters. So he figured out a particular moisture and humidity and temperature which needs to be maintained in the truck so that this pomegranate goes fresh after 3 days even in the truck. So that is a career opportunity. He is earning maybe 3 times more than what he was earning from the company. So this is what I understand as a career opportunity. Here started startup, so this is startup, right? So you can do startup, and there are many incubation cells. As I said, that this starts from concepts. So it's not that taking pomegranate from point A to point B is the trouble. Trouble is that you have to have some concept how you stop this aging. Another example is that there was a computer science guy, and who once told me that, see, there are so many people write the GATE exam, and you have some question, something you didn't understand clearly, you want to ask someone. And many people leave college and then prepare for GATE from their home. And whom to ask? College, if you are coming every day to college, you go to your teacher, you possibly can ask. There are so many GATE coaching, of course, but not everyone goes to those coachings, and you may not have access to that much amount of money. So they charge good amount of money. Many people may not have that amount of money. So he built up something very similar to Facebook, where you become a member of that community, and then you ask question. And who answers the question? So he asked me to become a member of that community as well. And I asked some questions from chemical engineering guys. So this is also a startup. And that guy also doing something else. This is something which he started with. So the startup at IIT Kharagpur Innovation Park, he started with this particular concept. You see, this is a concept. There is a need for that kind of support. He was going for provide that kind of support. And I was worried about his earning, because I'm really skeptic about this earning that you get from opening an app, something like that. So he got married that time, and I was saying that, will you earn enough? He said, no sir, there's no problem. So then he also expanded various things, and by the way, the picture that you see here is a thing by that particular person. So his name is Pritam Pashu. So he also built one web page for me. He was doing many things also, and then now he is so rich that he established an office in Austria. So he has one office in Austria and India. So he fly very frequently. So a couple of days ago he sent a message in WhatsApp saying that I need to talk to you. So he hasn't called yet. So maybe he'll call after 6 months. That's also possible. So these are the examples where you get entrepreneurship as a career opportunity. Neither this guy who was selling pomegranate took a job, nor this guy. So till this Argadeep was pomegranate guy, he took a job initially to gather some money. But this Pritam Prashu never took any job. So he did BTech from some state college, he did masters at IIT Kharagpur. And then he gathered his money by designing web page. Like I gave him to design my web page. Many people give him to design web page. He designed web page, gathered some money, and from there he just took off. So yes, this is possible, and it's a huge amount of money. It's an unimaginable amount of money and growth he is having. So these two examples I could share often. There are many, of course. The professor in IIT Kharagpur who says this arsenic field test. Any other point?
I have one more question.
Yeah, sure.
So through your experience or knowledge, or so how you rate or give weightage to all these points? Like you discussed 10 points to become an entrepreneur or innovator. So how you give weightage? Like what you keep at the top? Like on the hard work that you started with the numbers. So shall you go with the numbers, or how you weight it?
I think it's very hard to give number to or weightage to each of them, because to me each of them are very important. And if you take out one of them, the entire establishment will crumble. So because for example, I have known people who are very hardworking, extremely smart. Everything is good. Only thing they cannot communicate well with people. So you need mentors. So everywhere, so it's very difficult for someone to take the career to a very high level without having mentors. And you seek mentors, and if you don't seek mentors, if you tell bad things to some powerful guy, so no matter how hardworking, smart working you are, so it's very difficult. So mentors are very important. So that's why communication is also important. So everything else, no hard work, that will also not stand anywhere. So I have also seen those cases. So people try to make a shell which is very shiny, inside nothing. People believe in once or twice, but then people stop believing and people say, oh, there's nothing inside, so you know. So then people don't believe. So I don't think that to me all these are very important points.
So like what all we've discussed, it is more intrinsic to a particular person. But like when we talk about an opportunity or in business, there are many extrinsic factors also.
For example, if you are saying that demand for a certain material,
Yeah.
So extrinsic factors, we have to sometimes dodge, sometimes face them, sometimes then. For example, a lot of people got affected during COVID. So those who started selling masks during COVID time, their business was continuing. Those who said that, oh no, we only sell chai in the corner. So that would be adaptive. So to me, it's adaptive. So external factors also affect me a lot of ways.
So like the role of the government for promoting a new concept, like kind of funding that they can give. Because
Government may not give much funding, so.
but sir, if you look at the website of MSME, like it's a very attractive website.
So these are all.
There are like
schemes.
more than 100 schemes for the youngsters and everything.
So those are for the runway. So those are runway. So finally you have to take off yourself. So those will take you only for a maybe couple of years, couple of months, depending on the venture. But finally, what I believe is that you have to be adaptive. You have to look for opportunities, and the external disturbances, changes, features. You have to look for opportunities there. So that's what I have seen from my side.
Any student have any question?
They got bored enough.
I have one question,
Yeah.
that many students may have many ideas, right? That they think, okay, this could be like a good idea for an entrepreneurship. But how do they know that it is good enough? Is there a source where they can test it
It's
or
always risky. Entrepreneurship is always risky. How we assure ourselves that it is right?
So you are saying that suppose you got an idea.
Yes.
So let us see. Let us think about Pritam Prashun. He got an idea that this thing might do. What I have seen for these guys is that you never limit yourself to a single idea. You have to have a bag full of ideas, and now if you do not, see, it's very difficult to gauge a priori which one will work and which one will not work. So that's why we have maybe 600,000 startups, and not maybe 1% will survive and grow. So it's very, very difficult to predict a priori which one will flourish and which one will not grow. So what I have seen for myself also and for others is that be adaptive and have a bag full of ideas. Not single one may not work. And that's why it's very important to never to give up. So one doesn't work, another doesn't work, another. Keep trying. Something or other will work.
and how important is the luck factor?
Again, so luck can put you down in 1, 2, 3. So there's a story of Robert Bruce. So 8th time you may get success. So If your luck is good, maybe you got fourth time you get success. But luck is bad, you get success. Sometimes you may say that, well, this is not working. That's why it's always, I have seen for others and myself, is that multiple pathways to explore. Multiple pathways you explore.
But
Something
when you
not-
explore multiple pathways, can you put your efforts in, let's say one of those was your original idea, and if you want to put your 100% effort in that, can you really go for these multiple things, and can you really share your time on this? Will the first original idea work if you are sharing your time?
It's you have to judge yourself and risk.
And believe in it?
Believe in it, and if it's not working, you have to find out some proper time to leave it and try something else. But I always prefer trying multiple things together, because I don't know what will work, what will not work. After some progress, I know something is working, because as Madam said, that there are external factors beyond your control. And these are all changing. The world is ever changing. So today, whatever you are seeing and what you are hearing and happening is very different in another 4 years.
Anybody else?
Okay. So good luck to you as entrepreneurship. Thank you very much.
I just formally ended the program. Just hold on for 1 more minute, okay?
So on behalf of IIC and Shri Guru Gobind Singh College, it is my pleasure to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks to Dr. Jayanta Chakraborty for his inspiring lecture today. I hope all of you had some idea about what entrepreneurship is, what works and what doesn't. And we are extremely grateful for the valuable insights he shared with us on his academic journey and his personal experiences. I would like to extend our gratitude to our management and our worthy principal for helping us organize this event. I would also like to thank the coordinator of the IIC, Dr. Saroj Bala, and all faculty members and student volunteers for organizing a successful event at a very short notice. Because we had the idea of conducting this event yesterday afternoon. And at night we were planning, and all the brochures and this and that, everything was done by the morning, okay? So we are a very active innovation council, and I'm sure that our students will appreciate that and will also reciprocate our efforts. Okay. So, finally, on behalf of IIC, we all thank you all for being a very wonderful audience. Have a good day.